For the first time in nearly a decade, the Hornets are in the playoff race. They aren't a big market or noticeable team, but they're getting hot at the right time. What actually matters is that the numbers, especially the ones since the calendar flipped to 2026, finally point toward a group that can compete in a playoff environment. Not based on hype, not based on potential, but based on data. Let's start with the defense. Since January 1st, Charlotte has played like a top 10 defensive team. They're giving up just under 110 points per game. Opponents are shooting 45% from the field and only 35% from 3. Their defensive rating in that stretch sits at 112.8, which ranks 8th in the league. A big part of that improvement is Moussa Diabate. He leads the team in rebounding at 8.7 rebounds a night. He shoots almost 64% from the field, and he posts a plus 1.5 defensive EPM. When he's on the floor, the Hornets allow nearly 7 fewer points per 100 possessions. And since January, opponents shoot just over 5% worse at the rim when he's a primary defender. It's wild that Charlotte didn't start him earlier. He's not a highlight defender, he's a possession winner. He rotates on time, he protects the paint, and he anchors the defense. We also have to acknowledge that Brandon Miller has also taken a leap on defense. He's averaging 20.6 points, 5 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists while shooting 39% from 3. But defensively, he's been even more important. He posts a plus 1.2 defensive EPM, and since January, the Hornets are plus 6.1 defensively better when he's on the court. Opposing primary scorers average almost 3 fewer points when he's the matchup. He's become a legitimate two-way wing, something Charlotte hasn't had in years. But the real story is their offense. Since January 1st, Charlotte has played like a top 5 offense. Their offensive rating in that stretch is 121.4. Their effective field goal percentage is almost 57%. They're top 5 in turnover rate and top 10 in assist to turnover ratio. This is a clean, organized, modern offense. And Con Knipple is a huge reason why. Con is averaging 19.2 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 3.4 assists on absurd efficiency, 49% from the field, almost 44% from 3 on 8 attempts, and 87% from the line. His offensive EPM is plus 3.3. His defensive EPM is plus 3.2, and he's already added over 9 EPM wins. Since January, he's been even better. 20.4 points a night, 46% from 3, and a plus 13.1 net rating when he's on the floor. With Con running actions, the Hornets post a 124 offensive rating and a 111 defensive rating. That's star level impact with our star level usage. He's the stabilizer, the guy that keeps the offense organized and spacing clean. And remember, he's only a rookie and he's bound to get better. For the first time in his career, LaMelo Ball style of playing has been contributing to winning basketball. 19.3 points, 7.3 assists, nearly 5 rebounds, 36% from the 3 and almost 10 attempts, and 91% from the line. His offensive EPM is plus 4.4, and his on and off offensive impact is plus 13.4, which is the highest on the team. Since January, he's averaging 21 points and 8 assists on 58% true shooting. And when LaMelo's on the floor, the Hornets post a 126 offensive rating. The trio of LaMelo, Con, and Miller has been elite, having a plus 14.1% in their shared minutes. This is the most balanced version of LaMelo we've ever seen. Fewer risky passes, better shot selection, and more control of the game. An underrated and underappreciated asset of their offense has been the newly acquired Coby White. Coby White adds something that the rest of the roster doesn't naturally have: downhill pressure. His season numbers don't jump off the page, but since January, he's averaging almost 15 points and 5 assists, finishing 61% at the rim, and posting a plus 3.1 offensive on and off. He collapses defense, he forces rotation, and he speeds up the game. In the playoffs, where half-court creation becomes harder, guards like Coby matter, and the fact that he's off the bench gives the Hornets a new X-factor / spark in these playoffs type settings. And then there's Brandon Miller's offensive growth. He's up to 21 points per game since January, shooting over 41% from 3 and scoring over 1 point per possession as a pick and roll ball handler, which is above league average. He gives Charlotte a third scoring option who doesn't need heavy touches to be effective. He spaces the floor for LaMelo, cuts well off Con, and punishes overhelp. When you zoom out, the team level indicators tell the full story. Since January 1st, Charlotte ranks 5th in net rating at plus 8.6. They're 4th in offensive rating, 8th in defensive rating, 6th in SRS, and top 10 in expected wins. In the clutch, they allowed just 0.92 points per possession, the second best mark in the league, and they post a plus 12.4 clutch net rating. This is the statistical profile of a team that wins playoff series. Charlotte has the 5 pillars every dark horse playoff team needs: a primary creator in LaMelo Ball, a stabilizer in Nipple, a two-way wing in Brandon Miller, a pressure guard in Coby White, and a defensive anchor in Moussa Diabate. Combine all that with a top 5 offense, a top 10 defense, and elite line synergy, and the Hornets aren't just a team that sneaks into the playoffs. They're a team that can actually win around. This isn't about hype, this isn't about a narrative, this is strictly about the numbers. Since January 1st, the Hornets have played like a top 8 team in the league. Their core players are peaking at the right times, their lineups are efficient, their defense is real, and their offense is scalable. Sure, they are young and inexperienced with a lackluster amount of depth, but it takes one game to swing the momentum to their favor. If they stay healthy and maintain this level of execution, Charlotte is absolutely capable of winning a playoff series this year, because for the first time in a long time, the Hornets look like a team built on something real. And if I was Boston or Detroit, I wouldn't want to face the buzzing Hornets in my first round series. Thank you all for watching. If you think the Hornets can actually win a playoff series or cannot win a playoff series, feel free to leave a comment. We always love to have discussion over here. That's all for today. We out.